That was nice.
Oh, going up. Yeah, you got down.
Okay, I'm bringing this up.
That was great.
It was cool, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was recording a video earlier today, and I accidentally played that. And then I went, whoa, what did I just play?
That was cool.
And then I realized it's just a flat 5, but it's this note is out of the scale, you know? If I'm in E major, right? Or C sharp minor.
You've proven it.
It's not good. I've proven it. That is definitive.
Many times, yeah.
That's definitive proof. It's
Right.
on the scale.
Did not sound good.
Yeah.
But if you just phrase it, you know?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
it's so wrong.
nice.
My fingers actually don't even know how to do that. Like I just tried to do the hammer on. I felt like the most
They're
foreign
like,
thing.
are you sure?
Yeah, are you sure? Are you sure you're hitting that note?
Right.
We've for years avoided that note.
Right.
You know?
Okay, for me, well, so do it.
That's nice.
Do it a couple times in a row, but do the normal note going up, and then do the other note. I just want to hear the difference.
Oh, like what would be in the scale?
Yeah, like I guess it'd be A, right? So like G sharp, A, B, and then yeah, it's slightly different. Yeah,
Here.
yeah, with the track. Yeah. Yeah.
See, I mess it up a lot because my brain is like, we
Right.
don't have a pathway
Yeah.
Yeah.
for that. You know,
Well, the more
you're
you
on the
put-
wrong string. You're using
Sorry.
the wrong finger.
Yeah.
That's the wrong
Yep.
fret. You're close to something we know.
Yeah.
The more you play the A sharp, the more the A sounds weird.
Yes.
Like
right.
a mistake.
Right.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And it almost, like, not to get super nerdy about it, but like it almost has the sound that you're in the key of B.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that C sharp would be like a 2 minor.
Yeah.
Like it's almost
Yeah.
sounds like that. The more that
Yeah.
you do that B rundown.
Yeah, and
you
I
know?
think when you like lean on it a lot, especially and then because it makes you want to do the blues note, the flat 3, you know. And so like the more like it's like the more like but I know you're saying you're right. It does sort of sound
Well,
like
I mean,
yeah.
with no other context.
with no
like
other
no
yeah,
big progression.
Yes.
It's like, really, where are we?
Yeah, right. I'm just on one
Is that
chord.
one?
Yeah,
Yeah, is it
yeah,
a
yeah. So,
minor
yeah,
one?
what are we
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah, it's cool.
But it's yeah.
I love your phrasing so much. I don't know if I ever told you this, but
Oh,
when,
thank you,
when
man.
you came out, the first time I ever met you, you came to Kansas City and played with us. It was camp or whatever.
Yeah.
We were doing packs with JHS. Nick, I remember him commenting and saying, HW has some of the most musical phrasing of anybody that we had played with.
You know what? You
at
told
that point.
I'm-
Did I ever tell you that? Okay.
You know what? I'll give you your $100 after this for saying that.
Yeah,
But
right, yeah.
you told me that one
Thank
time,
goodness.
and
Yeah.
it's up there in my head as one of the best compliments I've ever gotten.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank you.
good. Good.
Thank you.
And I think he's right. I love.
Yeah.
I remember last time I came before we moved down, you played something, and I was like instantly like, I got to play that. And so you like handed me the guitar.
Oh, I wish I
remember
knew
what
what
the
it
deluxe
was.
memory man. It was like the key of E, some weird thing you were doing, and I was like, drum, brum, brum. Oh, this is cool. Anyways,
I wish I knew what that
the
was.
deluxe memory, man. That was a good day.
Oh, that's
that was
an
a
inspiring
great
pedal.
day.
That was wonderful.
Oh man,
That was the 310, right?
yeah. It was.
the
Is that it right
Bandmaster.
there? No, that looks like it.
Is that the Bandmaster right there?
Yeah,
don't-
that's the back
okay.
of the bandmaster, and here's
Did
the
we
actual-
film
here's
that?
the bandmaster up here.
Did we ever like make a video on that? It
I
was,
think it's an Insta
okay.
thing.
It was like Klon, Deluxe Memory Man, Bandmaster.
Yes.
Well, if you remember, I think like a couple days later, I put on a bathrobe, and that was the rig I was playing.
That
It
was
was
it
like
the baffle?
yeah.
When you
no,
mic'd
no,
the baffle?
the baffle was like the third video I did in the bathrobe. Because that was when I was like, nothing's real. This amp isn't even real. This mic is on a baffle.
I was gonna say,
and then I turned around. I was like, there's no amp in this amp.
My question was, is that why you were miking the baffle? Because we were trying. That amp was sitting there.
Okay.
And I thought you were trying to mic it.
Yes, I was miking it for that reason.
Okay.
So we were playing that rig. That's why it was out. And then that Saturday morning, I put a mic on it. But then in the third video, I had actually dragged the mic. I had moved something. I put the mic back and then started recording. And then I looked at it and realized I've been miking the baffle, but it came. But I wanted to go here, and then I was like, "Oh, I just mic'd the baffle, and it works."
Oh yeah.
So that was a happy accident too. But it was a couple days later. It was a couple steps after.
Okay.
But yes, but that's why the whole thing was set up, and we were doing that. Yeah.
Speaking of miking,
Yeah.
less than normal places on a guitar cab. Last night I teach a class at Lipscomb University, and
Yes.
we had our final concert that we've been practicing for like the whole year, the whole semester, whatever. So it's like 10 songs, like thing, whatever. I'm up there playing, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a figure walk past me, like that's not in our band, like just like someone else walks up
on the stage.
Yeah, up on stage. I was like, people are coming up here, like it's weird. And then I kind of like, I didn't want to make a big deal out of it, but I like look over, and my guitar, I was playing a tube amp. The mic for the amp was 10 feet away. It was over against the thing. There had been another band before us that didn't need it and had struck it. So this is probably 4 songs in. Like we're almost halfway through our set, and he runs up there and was like, "Let me mic this guy." So I don't know what was happening before that, but.
That's
maybe
so
nobody
awesome.
heard him note I played. I don't know, but
you can hear yourself.
It was
you
just
had
like,
your,
oh, thanks, man. Thanks for miking it.
That is discouraging.
So,
That is discouraging.
yeah.
I've been in that room though. Probably a good amount of
okay. The Shamblin Theater.
Yep.
Okay.
Probably a decent amount of bleed from the stage. It's not an enormous room.
The amp was loud.
Yeah. So probably people here
Decent
could hear
amount.
you,
Yeah,
but somebody was getting,
Right. Well, they were also live streaming it.
what were you playing
So
through?
the mic
no
was
one on the
coming
mic.
right over there. Yeah.
anything.
Not that I'm like care much about that. It was just hilarious. I was like, I haven't played a tube amp in front of people for years.
Yes. Yeah.
And I had my board with our quad cortex or whatever I was using, and it was like, oh, let's just play the amp to have fun. And now I wasn't even mine.
Oh,
so,
look at that.
Turns out
Look
quad
at
cortex. It's
That's
always
the way to
mic'd.
go.
Yeah, the quad cortex.
I have actually. I've been in that room. I've only been in that room just to peek in, so I can just picture it. I haven't really listened to much in there. But my sons used to play football there, and we'd wander in and buy Chick-fil-A and Starbucks, and the bathroom's right there.
Oh yeah.
So I'd peek my head in, and they would be showing movies on the weekends.
In the main little room.
Yeah,
there.
at least once I saw a movie playing in there, like a screen came down.
Oh, I haven't seen that. That's cool.
Yeah.
What amp were you playing through? Do you remember?
Man, it was a Fender, maybe like a hot rod.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't like your.
I should
something that you
look
brought. Okay,
closer. Cool. Yeah, it was the guy next to me had a deluxe reverb, and then my other choices. What would y'all have done? My other choices were a Line 6 like modeler amp, and then like a hot rod deluxe with like the overdrive channel, whatever. So
Man.
Sure, just leave it on the clean channel.
Well, okay, here's the thing. This is an interesting little thing. So it was when I went up to the amp, it was on the yellow overdrive. Like, it's not on the red, but it's on the yellow,
Yeah.
So I played, I was like, no. I went to the clean one and started hitting drives, and I was like, okay, cool, this is good.
Yeah.
We get to sound check, I'm like checking, and I was like, I don't know if I love this. Like, this is not like whatever. And I was like, hold on, let me try it. And I went back and turned on the yellow overdrive, didn't touch anything else. I was like, that's it. That's the sound.
Man.
I was like, so it's better. It's in my equation, it was way better with the overdrive yellow channel with like the gain barely on.
Right.
It just felt, I don't know, like I could push it without it sounding completely sterile and weird. You know? So almost like the clean was too clean.
I wonder if it has extra like there's another tube in there, so it's like maybe less sterile. Maybe you can. You're getting more out of the push,
Yeah, I think it was only when I sent something into it, like I think I was using the Jan Ray or whatever on the quad cortex or whatever. If I hit that into the clean one, it was like game over. Like, this is weird, It's almost like I had to have a little drive on the amp to accept that pedal. But anyway, it sounded good, man. And the guy next to me, deluxe reverb, and the drummer's right over there, no shield. I mean, dude, my ears were like, at the end of the set. You know,
dang.
we played for an hour. It was like
that's brutal.
it was like, and they're college kids, you know, so they're like not thinking I should save my hearing.
No, they're invincible.
They're cranking up there. Yeah, but it was fun. I left going like, you got to do that as a guitar player. Sometimes you got to like push air and just crank. You know, what I mean?
You got to be loud sometimes.
Just be loud.
Rock and roll is loud.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, for sure, it was fun.
So how was the live mix in the room?
Oh, live mix. Nice segue. No, actually, you know, I hope it was good. You know, that's the whole thing. Like, you never really know. Like,
yeah.
especially when they're running on stage, miking you halfway through. I don't know what the mix was like, but
The front of house is like, oh.
yeah. Why does it sound different? The first band was great. I mean, that's, you know, Lipscomb, like all week long, they're going to have, I think they said 20 bands or 15 bands are going to come in and do showcases and do all the stuff like all week. So it's kind of fun. And like, I'd like to hear some of those other bands just to hear the mix in there. But
See if you're the best band.
Yeah.
Maybe have a battle of the band.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Oh.
Throwback.
Dang, a Lipscomb Battle of the Bands.
That would be awesome.
Is there like a battle of the bands here in Nashville?
There's
Does that ever happen?
There's a famous one at Ramsey. I mean, that happens every year.
Yes.
Okay.
That's like by the employees, right?
Oh.
But yeah, hundreds and hundreds of people.
And
go
they get
That's cool.
My buddy works there, and he's like, dude, it's the biggest thing we'll do all year, which is weird.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's like not a
Well, they do it at their
not a music organization.
They do it at
Right.
like their big night, right? And they
Yeah,
do other
team
things
night,
too.
yeah.
And I think it's like a fancy dinner and like gifts.
That's
it's like
fun.
it's a whole thing.
Yeah, but
That's
they're
so
like in,
fun.
I mean, outfits, lighting rigs. Like they'll rehearse a ton.
Yeah.
Like,
They
do
take
it upright.
Yes.
seriously. Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
actually really cool.
Yeah.
Man, what a good organization.
I want to sneak in with like, okay, let's make the four of us with John too. Let's sneak in like we work there next year and be in the Battle of the Bands.
I know people there. We can probably squeeze into a band.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, what are those guys do? Oh, he's in like marketing, I think, and then just like change the subject.
You got to understand, man. This is Nashville.
Right.
Some of these guys are real. Like
they're all shredders.
Yeah. Like you know,
Wild.
we might just get our clocks cleaned, legit.
I don't think we'll win, but yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it'll be like, who are those guys? And it's like they're the.
We could play Metal Junkie songs.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that could be cool.
Metal bass.
Oh, of course. Can John too play drums or you?
We have a drummer, by the way, lined up for. Really? I'm sure.
Yeah,
if
we
I'm
can't
allowed.
talk about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
but there's a drummer.
Cool.
Well, I'll just tell you the drum. We'll tell you later.
Okay.
He's the best,
Okay.
not figuratively.
Oh, okay.
No, he's gonna play with us.
He's the best.
Okay.
Think of who's the best.
Cliffhanger.
I can't even tell you.
We got Dave. We've got Dave Grohl.
He's the best.
Yeah.
No, we can't talk about that now.
All right, let me call John because I have a question for him. So,
While you call John, should I do guitar joke of the week? Sure.
Please.
Okay. Here we go. Guitar joke of the week. Where did I put it?
is it better to FaceTime him since this is a video podcast? Producer?
Yeah. Yes. FaceTime him.
Okay. Should I do it now or wait?
Oh no, go ahead. Call him, and I'm gonna. What did I do with this thing?
You know,
I
the
took a-
longer you look for jokes, the higher my expectations go. Like,
Here's
they
the
better
thing.
be really good.
It's not it. I took a picture of the jokes, and then this update on the iPhone has changed the way photos work. Okay, here we go.
Okay,
Here we go. I'm
gotcha.
good. Here we go. This is just a little anecdote. A guitarist locks his keys in his car. Sorry, here we go. Let me set this up properly. I read it wrong. Why did the guitar player lock his keys in the car?
Why did he do it?
I'm sorry. What happened after the guitar player locked his keys? This is the worst joke ever.
Yeah.
What happened after the guitar player locked his keys in the car? Let me phrase it this way. Why did the guitar...
John, help
What
us.
is written here is a note that I made where I didn't actually write down the joke, but something that loosely would tangentially remind me of the joke.
Wow.
So
Because he could only play in one key. I don't know.
why did the guitar player have to...
How do you think this
After
is
the
going?
guitar player...
What's your assessment right now?
What's the punchline?
This is stupid. I don't even know. Okay, this joke needs work. Why did the guitar player lock? Why did the guitar player break the window to the car?
Because he locked his keys in the car.
He locked his keys in the car, and the drummer had no way to get out. Do you get it?
I really don't.
Another bad drummer joke.
I'm sorry. The drummer had the keys, but he couldn't figure out how to get it. I butchered it. I'm sorry. Let's move on to the other joke.
I'm glad we got that on.
Let's just get this out of the way. I don't know what happened.
Wow.
I showed you my cool riff, and we didn't. Let's just.
No, we're in it.
Because I didn't say it. Guitar Friends episode 53. Here we go. 54. We had a cool riff. We botched a joke. It's okay.
Guitar Friends is on. Maybe you're in your car or mowing your lawn. Just turn it up. The Guitar Friends on. The greatest podcast about guitar is on. As long as you don't count all the ones that have big guests and are very intentional about actually having guitar-related conversations. Guitar Friends is on. This is Guitar Friends. HW, Sooze and John too. It's mostly about guitar, but also some other stuff will be discussed too. But it's most about guitar, unless we get distracted and talk about food or Teslas, or how annoying it is that Californians keep moving everywhere and bring their terrible ideas and ruin their state to Nashville. But looks with guitar.
Welcome.
John C., did you hear that joke?
Unfortunately, I did.
Okay, here we go. Here is.
This is actually the Guitar Friends joke of the
what's
week
the difference
right now.
between an onion and a bass?
The bass doesn't make you cry.
Ooh. Something about layers? The bass can...
John, you got a guess?
Can't
You're usually good
layer.
at these.
I was going to say something about crying. Yeah.
Okay. Crying.
Nobody cries when you cut up a bass.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
You see that? See?
Is it
Except
when
for the
you
guy that
cut up
owns the bass.
a bass player? Or
Right.
when you cut
Well,
up
you
a
could have put a
bass?
drummer here too. What's the difference between an onion and a drummer? No one cries when you cut up a drummer.
Oh, God.
The actual person. Yeah. John's let down by these jokes.
Okay. Last one.
Oh.
What's the difference between a musician and a bass?
This is an all-time low. I don't know.
The bass burns longer. I don't know.
Wow.
Not a true. Okay.
Is that true?
I don't think so.
I don't think it's
All right,
true.
John
Guys,
too
I
wants
tried
to
to
speak.
listen.
Sorry,
We had
John.
about 30 seconds between episodes for me to source these jokes.
Okay. All right, John too.
Wait.
yes.
Here we go, John.
This
Wait, you have a
officially
joke?
ends.
Well, he has this comment.
This officially ends the joke period of the podcast. I think it's done. We
It's
killed it.
done. We're calling it here.
Yeah, maybe we'll take a break next episode from jokes. Yeah.
Plan ahead. Who knows?
We're playing ahead.
I
That's
had
good.
jokes last episode, John, but we decided to do a second, and here we are.
Wow. Hey, we want to talk about live mixes. What's the best live mix you've ever seen and heard? I guess heard.
Best live mix, John, you've ever heard.
What about you, John?
I know the best one I ever heard was Keith Urban,
Oh, wow. Where was he at?
Bridgestone.
Wow.
What made it good? I mean,
Ugh, everything. You could hear every instrument. His guitar sounded the best a guitar could sound. It was perfect.
did you get the
The
feeling
drummer-
like you were hearing it from the stage?
Well, no, I was quite far away.
Far away. Okay.
From
Okay.
yeah,
I've heard he runs really loud. That's why I was asking.
I can imagine. But yeah, it was perfect. Vocals were perfect. Bass was like every instrument was clear as day. It was perfect.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dang, that's cool.
It's hard to do in an arena.
It is.
it really is.
Dude, mine was kind of weird. Like in recent, we went and saw Brooke Fraser, which now has a last name I can't pronounce.
Ledgerwood?
Ledgerwood?
Ledgerwood? Brooke
Ledger?
Fraser Ledgerwood, is that her name?
That's the
Or
one.
just Brooke Ledgerwood?
She did her Seven recording, her album called Seven. She recorded it at
Sounds like a horror movie.
it was scary. No, she was great. Her band was amazing. But they recorded it at the Belonging Co. in Nashville.
Cool.
And I think they brought in their own rig because everything was like in front of the stage. I couldn't really see. It was all kind of dark back there. We were on the ground. She was like barely up off the ground. So I was probably their own. But I mean, all of us that went were commenting to each other like, this sounds incredible. Like very, very good. Yeah. The drums and the vocals alone were just like, it's like the drums sounded better than recordings almost. Like it was like, you know, a lot of times it's like, oh, I just want it to sound like a record. I want it to sound like a record in here. It was like beyond that. It was like, this is like better than any record you've heard.
That's really interesting you say
Yeah.
that. Becca and I went to Belonging Co. 2 years ago when we were visiting. And now that I'm thinking of it, the sound that night was incredible.
Okay.
I wonder if that room
It might be the room sounds
really
good. Yeah.
They've got some really talented people there
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
so
yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go to a service there just to, actually, honestly, just to hear the mix again because it was like remarkable. We were like talking about it, but and then the placement, like guitars were actually like panned out. Like it was, I was getting this experience of like not all just one sound coming at me, but like if I looked over there, I heard him. If I looked at this, there was like a string section and they were sort of like separated out. It was just like it was like hats off to the guy that ran it. You know what I mean? So anyway, best mix.
It's cool. I'm thinking about this and I'm having trouble thinking of anything. I saw U2 at Arrowhead in Kansas City in 2019. And I don't necessarily know if it was the best mix, but the whole experience was so good that it's probably standing. I do remember Beck opened for U2 and that sounded horrible. And then U2 came out and it was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's like night and day. So that was, I'd say that experience as a whole probably.
What tour was that on?
The Joshua Tree anniversary tour.
Do you know what's really confusing?
Tell me.
I misunderstood that statement.
Okay.
And had a million questions for you.
Okay.
Because you didn't mean, you meant Beck the band.
Correct. Who did you think I meant? My wife? Okay.
You can see the confusion.
I thought to myself, one, I didn't know that Beck was a musician. And two, I didn't know she got to that level
Of
to
a
open.
high caliber.
How did I miss that she opened for you too?
Yeah.
What?
Like I saw Lenny Kravitz
What?
open for you too.
What?
You know, like
Did you? Yeah, like she opened for you too.
She did.
On
yes.
how many on how many stops of the
Crazy.
tour? I mean, what year was this?
23. Yeah, in 2019.
and
Wow.
You called her mix terrible.
I know.
And
I
you
know.
said the mix was. I
It's
mean,
not nice, dude.
that would
It's
be.
okay. She trusts my ears.
It's hard to imagine.
Feedback, live feedback.
I'm sitting here going like,
Could
gosh.
you imagine?
Yeah, well, I'm going. It's hard to imagine you don't have a music career after that. I thought I didn't know. I don't think she's doing music anymore.
Like, why'd you move to
That
Nashville?
would be a really
Music
good.
City. Good for her.
That would be a really good. In fact, I want to ask ChatGPT right now. Has anyone who's ever opened for U2 not had a music career afterwards? Like,
wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, is there anyone who's open for music? I mean, I guess the best. I'm just going to ask Chat if.
Tomebot.
Yeah.
That's a great.
John had to go, by the way. John too had to leave us.
Bye,
but
John.
I mean, he said his answer and peaced out. So,
Hey,
yeah.
Tomebot, can you give me a list of everyone that you can find a record of ever having opened for U2?
I don't have a comprehensive list of every band or artist that has opened for U2 throughout their career. U2 has had many opening acts over the years.
Tomebot, stop. Can you just give me some artists who have opened for U2?
Sure. U2 has had a variety of artists open for them over the years, including acts like the Lumineers, One Republic, Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds, Florence Plus the Machine, and Kings of Leon, to name a few. They've had a wide range of opening acts throughout their tours.
Okay, name more than a few.
Absolutely. Here are more artists
No
who
doubt.
have opened for U2.
For real?
Arcade Fire,
Lenny
The Killers, Snow Patrol,
Killers?
PJ Harvey, The Pretenders, No Doubt, Muse, Kanye West, The Fray, The Red Hot Chili Peppers, Keane, Interpol, and The Pixies. U2's choice of opening acts often reflects a mix of established bands and emerging talent.
I mean, I didn't hear anyone in that except for the DJ that I am. Every one of those bands, I think, is a like kind of a band forever.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
was a
Like,
little surprised at the Lumineers. It's not like a huge band, right?
No, not a huge band, but like a musician's
feel
band.
like they are.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like a musician's band.
Like, do you know the last record they came out with?
No, but I mean, U2's had such a long career. I wonder if it was like kind of the blow
When they
up
were really
because-
like
I don't know,
hot, yeah.
maybe it's what made them hot. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
knows?
We might know the Lumineers after they open for U2.
Have we all seen U2?
I've never seen U2 live.
Really?
No.
I
I did see Third Day, so kind of the same thing.
It's basically the same.
Exactly.
Right. Maybe better. Maybe better.
I seriously regret not going to Las Vegas to see U2 when they were there in their residency. I'm like,
The Sphere.
tickets were like $500, and that was last year, and we knew we were moving here, so I was like, that's probably not a wise decision.
Yeah.
And the
Did
thing
you
that
have-
sucks,
to do
the thing
that?
that sucks is that was the deal because the thing about the Sphere is everyone says there's no bad seat.
Oh, okay.
So like, get the cheapest seat. It's still amazing.
dude,
It's not like a traditional arena.
yeah,
If you can look around, you're in the Sphere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, sure, you want to be next to Edge's
But
feet,
closer
you know.
is not necessarily better.
No,
Like,
not really. I don't think
right.
so.
You could
I mean,
hold-
obviously, if you can be right next to them, that's cool. But
Yeah.
but it sounds like
My buddy was there. He went, and they did the whole. I mean, it was expensive, right? And you got to fly out there. You got to get a place to stay.
yeah, right.
And he was like, "Dude, I would have done it 5 more times."
Yeah.
like it was like no regrets at all.
Yeah.
I was like, "That's a lot of money." He's like, "Didn't even think about it."
dang,
I was like, "Dang it! I didn't want you to say that."
yep,
Plus, the thing about
feel
Vegas is you can show up, win it all back, baby. Come on,
It could be a free trip.
win it all
Yeah.
back,
huge gambler here,
dude.
Yes.
You'd never
I-
guess, I
right.
know. But
I love blackjack. I love blackjack. I play poker. I play in a great poker game in town here once a month. We're looking for a new dealer, by the way. If you are a dealer, we're taking applications.
I've dealt poker before
Whoa, is this happening live?
in my high school days.
Oh my gosh!
Usually we have a woman. And we've talked about this. It helps if it helps
Thinking
if
of saying or not saying what I'm thinking.
well, it helps if they're good look. It helps.
Suze, do not
Here-
say what you're.
Well,
gonna,
here's the thing.
what you're
It
thinking.
helps if they are it helps to be presentable. I'll say that. But we also want someone who's not too attractive.
Okay,
So basically, you want to
I
forget.
think I qualify.
You want to forget that the person's in the room, and you don't want anyone's wife to have a problem. So
fair.
you
I
know.
see.
So, but
the Venn diagram of that.
yeah. But
Who do you play poker with? Who is
some
it?
people,
Okay,
He doesn't want to name drop.
yeah, cool,
just some people. They're good. They're good people.
cool. Okay,
John
It's right-
too
you know
may
what?
have just talked about one of them.
You know
so,
what? It's
yeah.
actually 2 doors down from Dave Ramsey's house.
no, it's not. That's wild.
Has Dave ever come?
We're trying. I have asked if we can invite him a lot. We think that maybe playing for money won't fit his brand, and that he won't be coming.
I think he has a lot of money to take. You know,
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
I mean, I don't.
like
yeah.
if you can get him on a few hands.
Anyway, love the poker game. Love poker. It's fun. It's just a gentleman's game. It's awesome. And but I love blackjack. I love blackjack. You know what happened to me? I went to Lake Tahoe when I was 21, and I won $40. And ever since then, I've loved blackjack.
What'd you put in?
Oh, I think I put in $20, and I left with 60. You know what I mean?
Off of like how long does that take to?
I don't remember. Maybe I played 10 hands or
Okay.
20 hands. I don't remember. You know what I mean? We weren't there very long.
I lost,
I have
I
no
lost
real
$50
recollection.
in Vegas in 3 minutes,
And then you did.
and I was like, "This sucks."
Dang.
But I was, roulette and like stupid games.
Yeah. I love blackjack. I would go to, that's why when I came out to Kansas City,
Yeah.
I went to the casinos.
No, you did. Oh, you did
Yes,
tell me
I
about it. And then you
did.
went and saw a movie, right?
Well, I had you drop me off at the movies because I was
Right.
bored at my hotel.
Yeah. But didn't you go see a movie, or was it?
I saw like 4 movies while I was there. I saw a movie every day, I think.
Dang, that's a lot.
Yeah, you got COVID. We only hung out like that when I was there for that 1 or 2 days, and then
Oh man.
Addison.
it's hard to remember actually what movies I saw when, because I saw movies when I was when I came out for the show, and then when I came out for the
profiling.
the profiling.
Yeah.
Did I go back on the show?
I don't think so. Josh was out of the country, and I got real sick.
I think you're on one time.
Was I on one time?
Think
No,
so.
I was on 2 times.
Were you?
Were you?
Oh, you know what?
I was on twice.
You must have gone back.
I did.
Was it after I was gone? Maybe when you guys released the packs? Would that have been it? Another pack? I don't know. Who knows?
Tonebot knows.
Why did I come? I came out one time before we made the packs, right?
Yep.
And I was on the show before we made the packs. Yeah, because then I came back one time and because I played the packs on the show.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, okay. Maybe you did. Yeah. Yes. I'm tracking
right?
now. I think you were.
You were on both times, too.
I think so. I think I was. Yeah.
And the second time, I muted my mic every time. I didn't. You still had to do it for me.
Okay.
Mute your
gosh.
mics.
Yeah, that would have been.
Was I
remember
on
that.
there 2 times? I can't remember.
I don't know. I will. Yeah, I don't know. I know you were there at least once.
I can't remember.
I'll
I thought
never
once.
forget it. You opened the door. You said, "Well, hello there," and I went melted in my chair.
I know. I just
happening.
don't remember if that. I don't remember if that was on the if that was for the show or for the profiling. The second time I went, I was leaving right before Christmas, and I had to drive back.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Because I missed a flight.
Yep.
Or I didn't miss a flight. We were having that snowstorm.
Yep.
Can someone look? Was I on there 2 times or 1? I'd like to go back.
Yeah. You should.
Do you mean us or do you mean the comments?
Someone in the comments. Go post if I was on there
All right.
twice or
So we
once.
won't know right now. So it'll be a mystery.
Another cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Another cliffhanger.
Was there 2 amazing riffs or just 1 amazing riffs in your mind? You know how you remember the riffs?
amazing riffs about what?
When he was like jamming and
Oh,
stuff. Was
well-
there 2 of those? Maybe that'll help you.
Good point. No, I mean Nick didn't say it twice. He said it once. So, but
Maybe
that doesn't mean anything.
Maybe I
know.
was on one time.
I don't know.
I watched it. I was so entertained by it. Having
Really?
seen y'all's show so much and
yeah.
then having known John.
Right.
It was
We
like
did
this
get a-
mix of worlds. It was
You know,
fun.
I did
That's
get a
cool.
question, which was, why did regular episodes of the JHS show stop when you left?
Well, I don't necessarily think it had anything to do with me. With me. I think for a while we were putting out 1 to 2 produced episodes a week, and then we were going live 1, 2, or 3 times a week. And so I think we were all just so burnt out at that point. And it was just like a reset of like, what do we have capacity for? That's them speaking. I don't actually know.
I think, too, a lot of people are complaining there's not as many lives, but I believe 3 pedals have been released in 2 months. Is that right?
Yeah.
So
a lot of stuff.
It would appear that all that time not being live
went back
has
to
gone
work.
into making pedals. Yes, it would appear.
Yeah.
It would appear
Yeah.
that there is a direct relationship, a direct correlation between time spent on YouTube and time not spent inventing new pedals.
You gotta
That might
love the
be true.
internet getting mad at you for doing what you're known for. Gosh. Like, you're a pedal company, and they're like, why are you
are
doing
you
this?
Yeah.
Man, I swear I was
don't
on
know.
there
I couldn't
twice,
tell
but
you.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
We're
Could
gonna
be
find
wrong.
out.
What do I remember? I don't know. I was on there one time, I think.
Yeah. You definitely were. Yeah.
It was super fun. I'd love to go back. I think we're gonna release all that stuff that we made. I got an email that said we want to
Hallelujah.
release everything, and
Dang.
I need to make like 2 Helix things because they're
Okay.
like, we're still missing these. I don't know how that's possible. I feel like about 3 times I've gone back and made everything that was missing, but we're gonna
You texted me about it like this year, and you're like, "Hey," and I was like,
Listen.
"I don't know,
listen.
man."
I got a call at my aunt's funeral that I flew out to California for, and I got a text that was like, "We really need you to call right now about this." And I'm not trying to throw anyone under the. And then it was like, we're trying to release these like today, and it doesn't look like we have everything. And I'm like walking out of the funeral going like, I think you have everything. I'm a little
Oh
busy.
my
out there.
gosh.
My aunt has just died.
Yeah, there's a
Literally,
memory.
I'm in California at a funeral. I thought we had established that everything was done.
Oh,
and they're
man.
asking me some questions, and I was like, this is like 2 years ago, guys.
It's a
I
long
don't
time.
remember all
It's
that happened.
is
longer
a
than
long
2
time.
years ago, man.
Yeah.
It's longer than 2 years ago. at this
I
point.
think the stuff that we made is really tremendous, and so I
think so, too. I'm excited.
I'm hoping to have it out. There's some really great
Yes.
stuff in there that I'd like the world to see.
There's some special stuff.
I think so.
Heck yeah.
So, man, completely lost my train of thought. I was going to ask you something. Can't remember. What were we talking about before
Technically,
this?
you did ask me a question.
There you go.
I just didn't know the answer.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's why they're not doing. What were we talking about before this? We were on a whole topic.
Well, we called John, and we,
called
talked about
John.
live
Yes. Live mix. Oh,
mixes.
did I share my best?
No.
you too. Okay, so it sounds like you two. We had
Yes.
Tonebot on.
Tonebot.
Tonebot. And I'm gonna say best live mix I've ever experienced. My Sunday morning in-ear mix.
Dang.
That's a lot.
That's terrible.
Oh, okay. I'm
I
like,
don't like
that's
that.
really?
I don't
That's
like
a
it.
lot.
Can we talk
Yeah.
about in-ears after this?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh.
awesome.
You know, I'm having a hard time. I mean, I've heard some stuff that I thought sounded great. I saw John Mayer live one time in Shoreline Amphitheater.
Yeah.
And I remember walking up and hearing Sheryl Crow open, and it sounded tremendous. Wow. And then I got in there, and I just remember it sounding so killer.
He does sound good.
That's cool.
I did see Maroon 5 at that same venue a couple times, and it did not sound good. So I don't know what that's about.
Okay. I have a most disappointing one. I got a free ticket to Bon Iver at an outdoor venue in Kansas City called Starlight, which is not known for having bad sound. We
were talking about casinos and cars. I'm going to tell you
That's
something after
it,
this. Go ahead.
yes.
Keep going.
Gambling.
I was so disappointed because I was
Really?
so
Who was the
excited
band?
to
Sorry.
see Bon Iver.
Okay.
And it was an incredible show. Sound was horrible. And it was like, there was like lightning in the distance. I'm convinced it had something to do with the moisture in the air and like wind blowing. It was
Right.
like,
Outside.
it was this really weird, like stuff kept shifting. There was a blanket over the sound and then it would like lift real quick. I can't describe it. Anyways,
Not
that was the
their,
most disappointing to me.
They weren't set up to win at that point.
It didn't feel
I mean,
like it.
I
Yeah.
don't know why. Like, if you can see mist in the air, I don't know how that wouldn't affect the sound. I
Totally.
mean, seriously, if you I mean, definitely if you can see it,
Yes.
it should be affecting the sound. But
We were getting rained on. Yeah.
I couldn't
just a little.
I
don't
couldn't
like that.
imagine what it would I can't imagine how misty air would affect the sound. I can't maybe darken it or something. I don't know.
Maybe so. Yeah. It was the house. I mean, you could tell it was like house front of house. You know what I mean? Like they didn't bring in their own PA. I don't think.
Right. That's interesting.
Anyways. Well, okay. Gambling.
Well, wait. Let's do worst.
Oh, okay.
Worst.
Yeah.
Worst mix.
Oh, worst. I saw Ben Rector at Ascend Amphitheater.
Oh, no.
And
Dang, that's disappointing because
it was also
he's good.
It was hit or miss. Like I felt like the mix was changing a lot. It is an outdoor venue,
Okay.
and there was weather. I mean, it was raining a little bit.
Dude.
But like our friend Jared, he was there also, and he was in the back. Like we were in the seated area. He was in the lawn section. He said that the mix would mute every 20 seconds. Like it was completely off. And he's like, I think it was like a gust of wind would come by, and like the PA was like, I mean, it was like a good mix, and then it was like almost like hit the mute button and came back.
But
Wow.
was sound technically still there? Or was it like actually like, oh,
that's
we
what
lost
he's
sound?
like, he's like, we like lost the mix like a bunch of
Weird.
times.
But you were at the same show,
yeah. But
so
we were
you would
way
have
up
noticed
front.
if the
Yeah,
system
no,
was
because
actually
he
going
asked
off.
me, he's like, was your mix like going in and out? I was like, no. He was like, dude, it must have been where we were sitting. With,
I
like,
think he should be checked for an aneurysm or
Yeah.
some sort of
right.
a stroke or something.
Yeah, and maybe it was just like it
Is he
changed so
okay?
much that he like
Right.
exaggerated. But
Well,
Yeah.
and that like
yeah.
makes me kind of. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Bon Iver wasn't like losing, audio.
yeah,
But that's kind of similarly what, and it was outdoors, and there was
That's
weather. So I don't
interesting.
know.
Right.
I haven't been to enough outdoor stuff to like know if how.
it was really like the bigger stuff that sounded odd to me. Like when he was like he would do his like piano stuff, and it was just like cool. It was like almost like the more that they had to mix, it was almost like just building up or something. Like
Interesting.
And I have always experienced outdoor mixes as being like
That's interesting.
I saw Death Cab outdoors. And
That's cool.
It was the Postal Service Death Cab tour when they did
Yes.
like both sets or whatever.
Neat.
it's called
Yeah, and it was
Going Postal. Is that the name of the tour? Would have been good.
maybe.
It would have been good.
Yeah, but outdoor stuff, I always tend to like reserve my judgment on like because it's like it's a hard thing.
Death Service.
I don't know if Death Service is it.
Probably
You
doesn't
know?
really capture the feel of the music, but
No.
Right.
a good name.
That's
for
like a heavy metal show,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
death
Death
metal.
Service. Postal
Although-
Cab. A good
There
one.
you go. That
I
was
did see
better.
Jimmy Eat World at Ascend Amphitheater, and that was like lights out good. So,
Dang.
but we were way up front too. So.
I saw Gary Clark Jr. at Ascend, and I didn't think it sounded great, but it didn't sound terrible. My worst is Death Cab.
really.
Yes,
dude.
I saw Death Cab at
Okay.
the Orpheum in San Francisco,
Yeah.
and I blame the 4,000 girls who screamed every single word to the songs.
Right.
It was like I couldn't hear him.
That's disappointing.
And he
Yeah.
did so many songs acoustic and just yelled, and they yelled, and I was like, this is pre-Taylor. Like this is, and at the time I was thinking, this is the craziest show. No one can hear him. It's just
We paid money to hear this guy.
It's just a weird like cult screaming. at the stage. And now I think Taylor Swift has outdone that. But at the time, I thought that was pretty unique and strange. I did not enjoy that show.
Dang.
That's they're one of my favorite bands. So that kind of sucks.
It was I can't even remember if it was just him or if it was the whole band.
I mean, it kind of makes sense if it was like an acoustic show that you're getting a ton of people around you singing. You know what I mean?
Wait, am I thinking of Death Cab?
Ben Gibbard.
Who's the guy that
find out.
Get
screams?
Homebot back.
Who's the guy that screams into the?
This is the episode.
He's got like the hair. Wait, it's not Death Cab.
Wait,
that
are you
I'm
thinking
Dashboard.
Dashboard? That's
the one.
That is who the girls scream. Death
Yeah.
Cab. The girls aren't screaming.
I was
no.
I was like
Yeah.
that kind of doesn't
No,
feel.
the dashboard.
Yeah.
Dashboard
My
confessional.
plans was pretty good.
And
But
it
like,
was
I
the
don't know if that was
dude, and
it.
the dude did so many songs. If I remember correctly, I think they did play as a band, but he did so many songs just on the acoustic, yelling. And you know how he yells all those songs.
Yeah.
There we go.
Screaming infidelities.
Yes, and they were the girls were just screaming the words to every song, and I was like, I can't hear anything. It's terrible. And then I didn't want to sit because the people standing were so close to me, so that I had to stand. But I was like, now I have to stand too.
Yeah.
It was not good.
Favorite? Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say favorite Death Cab record. You guys got one?
No.
Plans for me.
Mine's Thank You for Today.
I have no opinion.
Man.
Mine's
Is
born.
that a recent one?
I think so. 2018, 2017.
yeah,
somewhere.
Mine's born and raised.
Are we doing this right now? We had a little
Mine's born and raised.
disagreement.
Continuum
about,
for sure.
I mean, I think we all agree.
Yeah. Okay.
I put a post on Facebook, just no explanation or words or anything, just a list of albums in order.
Okay.
And there was a lot of engagement on that.
That's
People
good.
Of
had-
John Mayer records.
John Mayer. People had a
Okay.
lot to say about I got it wrong, or you're not a real fan, or like you nailed it, whatever. But
You're not a real fan.
boy, hey, some people are hateful. You know,
Yeah.
like if you don't nail the list of, I put Born and Raised last, dead last, and John had issue.
Where does Born and Raised rank for you?
It's the best record he's ever done.
Really?
If John, I'm gonna have John on the show one day, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
ask
you
him
are.
why do people not realize that Born and Raised is the best album ever? In fact, no, I'm gonna ask him like this: when did you first realize Born and Raised is the best thing you'll ever create?
I wonder if that'll make him feel good, because I feel
Yeah,
like he's
right.
just constantly trying to make Continuum again. I mean, not actually in that style, you know? It's like when you make a record like that,
But it nailed it. Yeah. So
that's like
much.
the height of, and what was that, record number 2? Or
Continuum?
3?
three,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
3.
I mean, that was like early career for him.
Yeah,
That's
Room for
like,
Squares, Heavier Things, Continuum.
Dang, man.
I mean, Continuum solidified him as a forever
Yeah.
talent, you know, who will
Yeah.
never go away. Album of the year. I think he had a Song of the Year off of it that year, too. I mean, he won a bunch of Grammys that year for it, and everyone kind of agreed. This is like,
Rightly so.
you know, yeah, you know, I'm just, to me, the bar is so high for John's music. So none of the albums are bad. I mean, that has to be set right. It's like none of it's bad. So it's like choosing, you know, who's the best basketball player of all time. It's like you're going to have people who make pretty convincing arguments, and it comes down to like, by what metric do you judge it?
Yeah.
If you want to buy championships, that's maybe a little different than times in the finals, because maybe you go, well, hey, one player can't win the finals, but you know, you're getting your team there, or how many games won, or overall score, you know, or whatever, right? At points per minute, you know.
And couldn't you say, too, the game has changed enough?
Yeah.
Like, you could definitely say that about football.
Yes.
It's like, you know, best now, it's a different, it feels like a different game than it was 20, 30 years
Even
ago.
the UFC, where it's very clean one-on-one, the sport changes and the
Yeah.
strategies change. And there's a lot of people who say, well, yeah, that guy may have all these accolades, but there wasn't as much money going in. The training camps weren't as dialed in.
Yes.
The style has changed. It's now very jiu-jitsu focused
Yes.
with strike, you know, like
You have to
that
like,
guy.
qualify everything.
Yeah.
You know.
So
Chuck Liddell, for the record. Just
to me,
After all that,
it's John Jones for
Actually.
sure. After last night, or after a couple nights ago.
kick.
Yeah. So I would just say this. To me, Born and Raised is the best record. I would never fault anyone if they said Continuum or Sob Rock, or
love Sob Rock.
if they said In Search of Everything. I think those are 3 records that you could, if someone says these are the best, I'd go, okay. Especially Continuum.
what's the worst to you? What was his low point?
To be honest, I think if you judge it as an album, the full collection, I'm going to say Paradise Valley is the worst. It's not the one I enjoy the least. Probably, it might be Room for Squares I enjoy the least now.
But would you have said that back when it was released?
Not when it was the only record. I mean,
Okay.
you know. And then,
That was his
and
best.
then, right. And then when it was the second record, I might have been like,
Yeah.
I kind of still like that one more.
Right.
And then, and then when Continuum came out, it might have been, I don't know, second, third. But anyway.
Sure.
Only for this reason, to me, on Paradise Valley, is the most clear that there are one or two songs that I skip. The one with Frank Ocean and the one with Katy Perry. And so, to me, it starts to disqualify it as being higher than these other albums that have no songs I will skip.
Yeah.
If you judge an album, though, on, hey, look at the 3 or 4 best songs, I don't think Paradise Valley is in the last place.
Yeah.
I do think that Born and Raised was such a shift, such a change, and I think it's the most like beautiful, honest. This guy tears down, everything he thought he was or who he was, and it's from a real like honest place of like rebuilding. And a lot of people notice with Sob Rock, John starts dressing like the '80s. He does all those things. It wasn't the first time he did that. Born and Raised was the first time he really got into costume, started dressing differently. If you go back and watch him on Letterman, the whole band is dressed like they just stepped out of Montana. He's got blankets over the amps. It's a full let me take you somewhere. But because it wasn't commercially very successful, it didn't get as much attention. Sob Rock was commercially successful too, and it got a ton of attention. So everyone noticed, like, whoa, John's doing this thing. Look at the music video. Look at the pants. Look at the thing. And then he did the big tour after that. And so it's like there's plenty of time to like ingest what is a like period, revisiting. It's like a period piece album. And it's great. He got the player from the keys player from what band? African American dude, bald. He's older now, but he played keys in one of the popular '80s bands. I forgot.
Toto.
It might have been Toto, but it's not.
It's not the Wallflowers, is it? That might be
no.
a
It's a guy
terrible
from the
guess.
'80s, and he got him to play keys for him on that record. And for a while, he had the drummer from some band back then too, who was playing. But then
he got some Aaron Sterling.
Yeah, then he got Aaron Sterling.
Dude, Aaron Sterling is the best.
He is.
He's the best
good.
man. So
He's so good.
Yeah. So for me, Paradise Valley isn't number one, but you're in good company. I had some other people.
I did Continuum for Sob Rock was second. I think.
No, you said Paradise Valley number one, right?
No. That was second to last for me.
Oh, but you had it above Born and Raised.
Yeah.
Ooh, dang! He put Born and Raised dead last. Whoa.
It was the last. Yeah.
Okay, admittedly,
because
I think
there's
Spotify may have confused you, and you were listening to the wrong songs.
Yeah. You realize why I'm bringing this up, right? Because I've been going through my music alphabetically.
Okay.
And I got to the J's, and it's been quite a month. But
dang,
dude, Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah.
John Mayer.
Okay.
What else was in there? James Taylor. I've just been cranking the hits, dude.
So I saw you post about this the other day, or maybe it was in the NAMM thread.
Sure.
But is this something you do each year, or
No,
how did this come about? And then how do you decide? Because there's a billion bands with the name J. Where does this come from?
I'll answer that one first. It's only artists I'm following.
Okay, cool.
If I'm following them, they're on the list.
Okay.
And I started this 2020.
You did.
We've been talking
I
about.
got a peek. Keep going.
We've been talking about this for a long time on the podcast.
Okay.
But it's been
I've completely
It basically
missed it.
started. I drive a lot,
Right,
for work and jobs and everything like that.
Yeah.
So when I would get in the car, it started to become frustrating to me when it was like, what do I want to listen to? What am I in the mood for?
Okay.
A lot of times it was like, I would just, I don't know, just like let Spotify decide or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need some structure. And my good friend Aaron, he was like, hey, you know what you should do is go on Rolling Stone and listen to the Rolling Stone top 500 albums of all time. Just start from 500 and work your way down. And I was like, oh, that is cool. Like it gives me some structure. Like I know what I listened to last. I'll just go to the list and keep it, So that took me about 2 years, like in the car, because, I would try to listen through every record the whole way through. And there's 500 of them, so I would go through it all. So I would skip songs or do whatever. Sometimes I would that list has music on it's like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like African tribal music that someone put on the list because it's breaks a boundary or a barrier, or is it the producer's first time of whatever.
Okay.
So a lot of skips,
Yeah.
But through that, I found a lot of artists I'd never heard before. Wow. A lot of country stuff I'd never heard, rap, R&B, things I just never got into. Yeah. That when I listened to it, I was like, yeah, that for sure makes sense why it's on the list. Yeah. But after that, it was like, I couldn't just go back to, now what do I want to listen to? So anyway, I was like, well, I'm just going to go through. Remember iPods?
Yes.
That was the whole, I used to do it with my iPod, like back in high school and college. I would just go to the top and listen all the way down.
And just hit play and let it go.
The thing about Spotify is that every album is out there.
Right.
So now it's taking forever because I try to listen to the whole catalog. Yeah. Before I used to have, I only had 2 albums from, let's just say, Elton John. I just had 2 of them, so I would listen to those 2. But now he's got like 20 records.
Dude, that's a lot.
And
of
I'm
music
like,
to consume.
I gotta listen to all of them. So yeah.
Okay.
Anyway. Yeah, it's been fun, but it's gonna take me. I mean, I'll never finish.
Yeah.
Am I gonna finish?
I mean, one day.
How long have you been going on right now? You're at the Jays.
I think it was COVID or right after COVID, and so I'm.
Wait, and you're only at
I'm
J?
3 years into it, and I'm on J. Yeah. I know, dude.
Dude, that's
I
a
should count up how many
commitment.
artists are in there. Yeah.
Wow.
But it's been fun, and
That's cool.
it alleviates the problem of what to listen to every day. You know. So anyway, but the Jays have been prime.
They're good.
So good.
John's just got so much, you know.
He
just
does
got
have a
so
lot.
much. And even when there's records, I'm like, yeah, I'm not really that into heavier things. Then you look at a couple songs on heavier things, like that's not true.
Yeah.
You know, every song's just got hits.
Okay.
Every song's got hits and great stuff. I can make a whole case why I think Born and Raised is the best record, but no matter. Wait, let me tell you this. I was going to tell you this earlier.
This is about gambling.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
It's about gambling.
Okay, great.
I have. I was one time walking out. I've won some money in Vegas. I've lost some money in Vegas. But when I was out there, to Kansas City, I went, y'all got casinos?
Yeah, dog.
Well, I was like, what?
I didn't realize till you said that.
So it's one of those cities that has these ridiculous laws about like you can't have a casino unless it's a riverboat casino.
We call them the boats.
The boats.
Yep.
And so that's legal. So then what they do is like they slowly change the definition of a boat. Sooze, this is a giant hotel. It's not on the water.
Like the ones we have in Nashville are like very small compared to this thing. Like
what do we have?
Like those dinner cruises in Nashville.
No,
like
that's a boat.
Yeah,
that is a boat that you get on a boat and there's a
Yeah.
captain. No one's driving this. It's a building on land.
Quite
Oh,
literally.
it doesn't leave where
No.
it is.
There's a part of the
It's
river that
stilts.
runs
This is a
underneath.
technicality.
You see this?
100%,
They built
yes.
a building. They built
Yes.
a building on stilts, and part of the river goes underneath the building. It's
Question. Yeah.
Can it move?
No, it's
Okay,
a
there-
building. Soon as
Oh,
you,
heck no.
There's
No,
not an
no, no, no,
engine
no.
or like a
As soon as
rudder.
you pull in the parking lot, it's a massive parking lot the size of
Okay.
a mall. There's
Okay.
multiple buildings, and you walk in, you're like,
Yeah.
there's no boat here. This is a building
a
with cement.
riverfront building.
You don't even see the
Literally,
river.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so big, you don't even see the river. You
Oh,
pull
really?
in, there's no.
Okay.
I guess part of the river goes underneath. There's also an adjoining hotel. It's like
I
no
see.
part of this is a boat.
No.
But
You-
to get out of the technicality.
technically,
of how,
I guess it's on stilts.
And
So-
and this is the one you went to. So this is left over from many years ago. That's not a thing anymore. So there's like
you can't have them.
Yeah, like a half a mile from my in-laws' house is a casino. It's like huge up by the racetrack and stuff. So it's not a thing
really?
any longer.
Oh.
But the one you went to, I mean, yes, it 20, 30, 40 years
I
ago, whenever they
see.
built this. Yeah, so but it's literally there's a part of like the river that's like they just like dredged out a
Wow.
boat
Yeah,
and it just
yeah,
runs
yeah.
underneath it. Yeah. It's the dumbest thing
I love
ever.
like the
Yeah.
insubordination of that.
100%.
Just like, oh yeah, you want us to go out here?
Yeah,
Like,
and then the state is like, yes, that would be great. This is going to be good for
We're
everybody.
gonna do it our way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the place. Remember? So I was like, I gotta go there. I was like, they got casinos here. So I went over there, and that's where I saw the movie theater. And I was like, they're showing. Oh my gosh, they got. I think I saw Shang-Chi there. And I went, and that was the time I bought a ticket. I went to the front, and I was like, can I get one for Shang-Chi at whatever 4? The guy sells me a ticket. I walk in, no one. I mean, it's like I wandered into the back rooms. There's no one. Crazy carpet. It's a wild
The whole theater, not just like your.
no one in the hallways. No one at the concession stand. No one. I walk in front of the concession. I think someone's gonna come out. Guess who comes out of the back? The guy who just sold me the ticket.
He's the only one working.
He's the only one working
or
there.
there.
Or there, I guess. I said, what are you, like the only one working here? He's like, there's a couple, but it's very slow right now, And I'm like walking through this place going, this is the wildest experience. I've never been in this huge theater. Someone did come in and watch the movie with me. There was another patron who finally came in right before the movie started. But it was just 2 people. And I walked out, saw the guy, waved at him, And I think I went back for another movie there, but there were some people at that point. But then I did go to another theater. I had you drop me off at like a mall to watch another movie.
I thought he had COVID.
Well, one trip
First
I had
time I
COVID. That's why I know I went out multiple.
Mm-hmm.
I went out multiple times. I think I didn't go out 3 times.
I feel like you actually did go out 3 times. I just wasn't there for the third one. I think. Well, we would have hung out. I feel like maybe. I don't remember.
This is getting wild.
This is great.
Just
content.
not remembering stuff.
Yeah, I
I
guess
just can't
so,
remember.
man.
Yeah.
I guess
I
so.
just can't remember.
So in-ears.
Yeah.
Let's talk about in-ears.
Oh wait, well, I was going to tell you this.
Yes,
So one
yes,
time,
yes.
I think I've told the story. I'm leaving a casino, and I've literally got my bags with me. I'm headed to the airport, and I think it was $40. I took $40, and I was like, let me just put this down on that. Or no, it was $20. Let me put this $20 down. I win, so it doubles up, right? So it's $20. So 20 turns into 40. I go, let it ride. Now I hit blackjack, which is 2 to 1. Or one, it was 1.5 to 1 at this table. So that means 40 turned into 100 because you win 1 to 1 plus half, 1.5 to 1. So now I got 100.
5x or $20.
Put it down again 3 times.
No way.
It hits again. And I go, let it ride. The lady cashed me out and said, get out of here.
No, she
And
didn't.
I said, yes, ma'am.
How much? How
much
much
was
was
it?
it?
It was
60.
$200.
Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
that's a different story.
No. That's it. Wait, maybe I'm getting the numbers wrong. Maybe it was 20 to 40. No, it was. I won 3 hands
Okay, all in a row. So she's like,
in
you
a
need
row,
to stop
and on
now.
the 4th one, I said,
Yeah.
maybe it was.
I mean, she's
maybe
right.
Maybe it was
She
20.
also got fired that day. Like, did you tell him to leave?
Maybe it was this, Sooze. Maybe it was. No.
You walked out of there with a lot of money.
You
Wait,
made
were you
money.
saying 60? 60 was the first time I ever gambled. I thought you were remembering this story.
No, you were talking earlier.
60 was the first time I ever went into a casino when I was like,
You made-
21
I
or something,
see.
or maybe 18. It was Indian play. No, it was 21.
So you're just a lucky person.
And so this was,
Yeah.
I've played a lot, but
I've lost more
but
than
this
I've
was
made.
just on the way out,
He's got a
and they
problem.
stopped,
Yes.
but they stopped me. You know what I mean? The lady was
Yeah.
like, no, I get out of here. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, just stop being an
can't
idiot. Like,
believe
you're not going to
that.
win 4 times in a row. You just won 3 times in a row.
They
You know?
specifically trained them not to say
They're
that.
not allowed to do that. They're not allowed to do that. But she was like, get out of here.
Yeah.
She's
You
like,
idiot
"You're
kid.
done."
Right.
I was like, okay, sorry, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm
Thank
leaving.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
the
you,
house
Mom.
always wins.
Yeah.
Maybe you've heard this.
Oh,
Thank you, Mom. I'm leaving.
You a
In-ears,
gambler?
in-ears. What do you got?
Oh
here?
yeah.
Oh, I
Let's
just-
do that.
I've just been frustrated with my custom molds from a large company who that shall remain nameless. And have you heard of the new company that's come out now? It's In Air Technology. Have you guys seen this on
That's
Instagram?
a company or a technology?
No, I can't remember the name of the company. I think it starts with an E. I can find it. Anyways, it's like the outer part is custom molded and the inner part of the ear is still like a silicone bud, but apparently it's a better seal because of the function of like not sticking something all the way down in the canal. And then when you move, it doesn't flex, right? Because it's a hard piece of plastic. But with these, it does flex. And so the seal stays sealed the whole time. Anyways, I don't know. You said it earlier, and I thought, well, it's just a fun thing to talk about. There's a new company, which I can't remember the name of. So
All
so
I
much
want to
fun.
know
I can
now
figure
is
this
the
out.
company you hate.
Okay.
That's all I want to know.
I'm not going to say it.
No, I
It's
know
okay.
you're not going to.
I won't say that I hate the company. They just
Yeah.
don't sound good. They're
Ultimate
probably,
Ears?
They're probably
Well,
a great.
yeah.
It's not them.
Oh,
no.
yeah, it's 1964. I had some of theirs too. So.
Oh, no.
Oh, you didn't say anything.
It's 64.
It's not
It
them
is.
either.
Oh,
no.
Hey, you know what? None of
I
them.
thought I-
None of them are sponsoring the podcast here.
Yeah.
true.
So
Right.
we can say whatever we want.
Yeah, the
What
West
is
Tones.
the name? I'll find it and text it
Well,
to you guys.
here's what I.
Someone will know.
Here's what I do.
Yeah.
I just buy KZs and I've never been happier.
I have a
I
pair of
want to
KZs.
try those.
They're great.
They're great.
They're great.
Okay,
yes.
I have the KS10s. They're the ones I like the best.
Okay.
I was going to ask you which ones do I get. I want to
KS10.
get something for a backup because the other day I have 3 sets of in-ears, like molded in-ears I've gotten over the years, right?
Who do you have them from?
I have 2 Ultimate ears
Okay.
and 1 JH Audio.
Ooh,
Have you
okay.
heard of either one of those?
Yes, I have.
Do you like them all?
I have not. I haven't had either of those brands, and so I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna give it up. No, the UE ones are definitely better than
Nice.
the JH ones are fine, but yeah, the Ultimate ears I think sound great.
Nice.
But I have 3 sets, and I showed up to church the other day. I forgot them all.
Oh no.
All of them gone.
Well, that
So-
KZs won't solve that problem.
No, I'm saying to have a backup. I don't keep them in my guitar case, keep them in the bag, or keep them whatever. So if like I kept them in my car, for instance, then I could just run out and grab them.
always
I just
there.
want something. Oh, wherever I'm at, I want them
Well,
to be
Suze, you have 3 pairs already. I mean, if you're not going to
there.
put one in your car, what do you
one stays at home. One goes
This
in my
guy
backpack.
knows. He's a big brain.
And then what?
Yeah,
and then where's the
big
other
brain.
one go?
They're lost apparently. I don't know where they are.
No.
No, but anyway.
No, man, I just, I just use the KS10s.
I've heard they're great.
They're
I
great.
have friends that have molded ears that leave them at home now that use KZs because they're better.
I just use the K. Yeah, I use the K. And there's different ones. There's different models, and they have different number of whatever. But really, I've tried multiple, and I think they copy a different model. Like I've noticed the ones I'm using have very high and low response. So the first time I put them on, the KS10s, all of a sudden I could hear the finger squeak of the acoustic guitar. And I could hear a ton of high-end presence, and it was very clear, and then the low end was very big. And so I went, okay, this is purposefully different than, and I was like, because this has 10, those have 8. These sound different, though. The other ones were more what I was used to in terms of, like, if I was a singer, I would want it. It was a little more mid-focus, maybe upper mid-focus, where I felt like the vocals, you could hear yourself really well. You could hear everything, but it didn't have this extended low and high. I like the KS10s. If I was a bass player, acoustic guitar, I would choose those. I like to hear the whole band. I know some people dial in their in-ear mix. I don't enjoy not listening to music.
They're like 10
when I play
dB
the guitar.
louder than
Yeah,
than
I don't
everything else.
enjoy,
Yeah.
and I don't enjoy. I want to hear everything.
Definitely.
The only thing I'm not hearing when I'm playing the guitar is if you are a vocalist and you are not leading a song.
Yep.
You are not muted, but you're at a level where you might as well be muted. I mean, I'm probably
if anyone's
not.
playing, they're drowning. them
Yeah,
out.
yeah. You're not getting in there.
I'm just muting those people because it's more noise in my ears anyway.
Sure, that's probably true.
Yeah.
That's probably true. Yeah, I've got them. I've got everybody in there. The challenging thing is when, like, lately we'll have my church is into this, like, let's singers across the stage, and it's funny when it's one person leading, it's easy because that's the leader, and the rest can just be in there. I want to hear the harmonies though sometimes, and then but everybody else. But when there's 4 people leading songs. It's like, well, I'm not going to manage this during the service. You all have to be at a level I can hear, And so
It's funny you say that because I only have the worship leader up. So if like a female background singer leads a song, I just don't have her vocal for that.
You just
song.
don't listen.
It's like sounds instrumental music in my ear.
Dang.
Yeah.
I just got in the habit of doing that because of what you're saying. I don't want to hear her the whole time at like she's leading a song. You know what I mean? I don't want to reach over and change my mix based on like they're doing in front of house.
Totally,
They're riding the vocals all day long.
Yeah.
I gotta try those KZ 10s. Do they stay in your ears pretty well?
They're KS10s are the model, but I think they're by KZ.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do they don't like slip out or move or anything?
No, I just bought a separate little thing that everyone says get, and it's just the other. It's like they sell just the generic, like, buy these for different size, like foam things for your ears, and I put those on. And then a lot of people, I don't do this, but everyone should, and I intend to do this. There's also on Amazon a like replacement cable that's longer, and it has a thing that shortens it because they come with a cable that's a little short. I use it, but it's fine, and it doesn't have anything to push up to the back of your head, so they kind of just hang down.
Yeah.
I just put it in my jacket and don't worry about. I'm really not a prima donna. I know that's a little like people would think I am. I'm really not.
Yeah.
I bought these things. I'm not gonna. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
Do you
go
have
in-
molds
Man.
also?
No.
Okay. Never have.
I did a long time ago.
Okay.
At my old church, they paid for them, and I don't really know what happened. I left that church, and I don't know what happened to those molds.
They took
I
their
should have
in-ears
taken
back.
them. No one else is using them, right?
Yeah.
But
They're
those,
like, ow, they
you know
moved
what?
in my ear.
man, I don't even know what model those were.
Yeah.
This was early on. They made us molds, and they had someone come in and do molds, and it was like right when we got rid of wedges. So this was
Yeah.
like early aughts. It was a while back.
2005, 6 maybe.
Yeah, maybe even a little earlier.
Wow.
Yeah, 3, 4.
My first set was 07 because that was like the first year I went to that church. But yeah.
Yeah.
Which is going back. I still have that set.
That's wild,
Yeah.
man.
I think anyone right now buying a set of Shure in-ears, it's just wasting their money completely. Don't buy those. Go buy the KS10. Like
Amazon.
and what I love about them is I don't care if they break, and I have a separate unopened set in my bag.
Dang,
The
just in
backup.
case.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
And at one point, someone was like, I'm having a hard time hearing, blah, blah, blah. And I gave them one. I was like, here. I was like, these are $45. Just solve your problem. Here, enjoy. And then I just bought another one as a backup.
Yeah.
I probably had that backup for 4 years. I've never opened it.
For that day.
It's a different model. The backup is a different model. It's like the one cheaper model. So it might have been $35. But dude, they're cheap. I'm going to look it up right now.
Is that what you have, honestly?
What?
The KZs. That's
I have. It's something from them. I don't know if it's the 10 driver, whatever. But they do sound better than my All Clairs. I will tell you that much. So.
You told me. Yay.
Yeah, man. When I got the backup,
I've never heard All Clairs, so.
I've been disappointed with them ever since I got them.
Okay.
And I had really been struggling for a long time with my in-ear mixes at church. And I realized once I got that set, because I started using them for location gear. So I've had them for like a year and a half, or location sound. So it was a part of my location gear like kit that I would use on film sets. And then one day I was just like, oh, I'll like try them, you know, with music or at home or whatever. And I was just like, wow, these are better. The thing I don't enjoy as much is that I feel like they don't isolate quite as well, which makes sense because they're, you know, just little buds. And so I think that's missing. I think they seal up pretty good, but you still get, you know, bleed from a louder stage. So
Yeah, they're called on Amazon right now. They're called Linsol KZ KS10 Pro. When I bought them, they only came in red. They seem to come in more colors now.
how much are they?
$49.99.
What a steal,
man,
dude.
that is
and
a
they're
steal.
and they're and then you can see there's like
Versus the $700 that are like a
Mine were $700.
Yeah.
buy 2 pairs of these and you're golden. And I would buy, and when you click on them, you get the stuff at the bottom. It's like, here's a case, here's the little tips, and I would say buy those because you buy. Look, I have the other tips that aren't the best fit are right here. I have no use for these other sizes. Do you know what I mean?
But you hang
because you
on
buy
to
this
them.
little,
you choose
this little
yours. Okay.
from Newbie. You get all
Okay.
the sizes, but only one size is the right one.
you
But
go.
these do fall apart after a while. You can get about a year and a half after these, and then you can feel how they're no longer as responsive. And then they like start to get dry, and you can get rips in them. And once it gets a tear, it'll like it can tear apart, and then
You buy another one.
Yeah, and then the little rubber thing on the inside can like disconnect from the foam and pop out. So like the foam can slide off, but then you look and there's like rubber around.
Yeah.
So buy these. I think these are $10. You
Right.
know. All of this is a better deal than.
If it was up to you, would you guys go back to amps and wedges? Or do you like ears now?
I'd go. I like ears.
I'm
Ears?
Yeah, ears
Yeah.
for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
Even singing, I'll take ears. I fought that for a long time.
I think especially singing, I would take
Yeah,
ears,
yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. That last experience of playing with amps and drums was kind of like, you know, like it felt nice. I wouldn't want to maybe do it all the time, but
Well, what's crazy to me is like I feel like the way I experience music now is all through studio monitors. It's through in-ears. Like even a drum kit. Like they're so abrasive
yeah.
when you're standing next to a drum kit and hear. And I'm
Right.
just like, that snare doesn't sound like a mic'd up snare drum.
Yeah.
Like more often than not, when you hear like a big fat gushy snare, or like a cool, it's like it doesn't always sound like that in the room.
Yeah.
And so
It's probably a sample. Like,
well,
on
and
top of
it very well could be, yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I'm like, I'm used to hearing drums that way. I'm working, like I hear my guitar through studio monitors. Yeah, I'm like stick to ears and
Yeah. Dude, funny story on that. So this church I'm playing at, we go through rehearsal in the morning and then we go out to play the first service and then we're like walking out and the drummer's like, my gosh, my right ear isn't working. And I was like, he like plug it in and he was like, man, I have no sound in my right in ear. And we're like, oh my gosh, dude, like we have 3 minutes to get out there. So, and like you were saying, like I got an extra set. And he just like threw him his whatever. He's like, oh, thank you, man. And it turned out to be like, I mean, like almost like Apple AirPods or whatever, you know. So he walks back there and puts them in. He's like, okay, cool. He plugs in your lifesaver, man, lifesaver. And we go to start the first song, and he just like looks super weird, like playing like very uncomfortably and weird. And I was like, oh look, and I have the MD mic, so I'm like, okay, Bobby, we're gonna build here, man. We're gonna build. And he's just like,
is he in a
like,
cage?
He's in a cage.
Oh, no.
So then he gets out 4 songs later, and I was like, dude, what was going on? He's like, bro, the drums were, I mean, 130 dB. It was the loudest thing because he's used to having molds in there where he
Yes.
just hears the mix. Like he just hears. He's like, I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear the singer. I didn't know where I was. All I heard was drums the whole 20 minutes. I was like, oh. Man.
Did he do pretty good considering?
He. I could tell something was off.
Yeah.
You know. And then I was like, that makes sense. And so yeah. Anyway, it was
Poor
like,
guy.
and he didn't know till it was too late. But now we're going. We got to go. Next song. He's struggling. All he wanted to do was
poor
stop
guy.
playing drums.
Right.
Because it's so loud. But he kept going. So. Yeah, it was. You live and learn situation. You go out with the one bum ear at that point.
You
know?
live and go deaf.
Yeah, well, yeah, seriously. And you're causing it. You know, every
Yeah.
time you play the snare, you're like, I could stop this at any time. So anyway.
I'm doing this to myself.
You
Yeah.
laugh so hard. But.
That's tough. What do you put in your in-ears? You get a lot or a little?
What do you mean?
Like what's in your in-ear mix? You mixing
Everything.
everybody in?
Yeah. I want to
Everybody
hear
in?
it like,
Yeah.
because I feel like the decisions I make are informed by what other people are doing.
I agree.
So
I agree.
I got to hear what's going on, which is maybe another reason I like just having fewer players.
It is nice.
It is
Yeah.
because there's
a
more space in
cleaner
your mix.
mix.
Yeah. And
I like having a little, like, I do bring the track down. I don't put a ton of
Yeah.
There's never any room. I always take the
same.
room
Yep.
out.
Yep.
I'm like, what are we doing here?
right.
Oh, we don't even have rooms.
Yeah. No room mics. Room mics, and then if there's sometimes there's an overall reverb send. Like if there's an aux channel, sometimes churches will send like here's a reverb for the whole thing,
Yeah.
I'm like,
More
what
mess.
is this? Yeah, more mess,
Yeah.
I'll put the reverb on. The pads have verb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Everybody has
yeah.
verb and needs verb, you know? Y'all want to put a little verb on these vocals, that's fine. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But can we do that before I get it in here? I don't need verb, getting the whole mix done.
Like a 4-second verb on a snare hit.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
Your
yeah.
guitar's got more on it.
It's huge. Yeah.
But I try to have it all. I try to have it all in there. Do you pan a lot of? Is there a lot of panning?
Yeah, yeah.
I try to pan the instruments where they are on stage
Yep.
a little bit. So I put the keys over here. But if I have two guitars, I send one side, and then I'm always in the center. I never
Okay.
really pan myself much.
Yep.
Maybe a little, but I send one over there. But if I'm just the one guitar. I like that. Just throw the acoustic little on one side, little keys on the other, and then that separates. And then I'm right in the middle.
Okay.
Let the bass and drums do their thing.
Are you playing stereo at church?
Put some vocals on that. Am I playing stereo church? Let me tell you something, Madison.
Oh, dog.
Let me tell
You haven't
let me
heard
tell
this
you something.
diatribe?
Let me tell you
You have
something.
30 minutes?
I guess. I've just opened up the can of
Well,
worms.
you
I have
really
to.
did. Well, let me tell you this. I am sending stereo.
Yeah.
I'm not using a ton of stereo stuff. My verb is stereo.
Yep.
I'm not doing a ton of ping ponging.
Sure. I'm not either.
So I'm not doing. So I think it's a little wasted. But I am sending stereo.
But so in your ears though, you got 2 tracks. They're up.
Yes,
They're in
yes.
the middle. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
See,
well,
I'll
no.
pan
The
stuff
trans
in.
are the pan. When I say
yeah.
I'm in the middle, I
Yeah.
mean my right and left track is equal.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
That's the same as being in the. This is the
hard
same
left
as
and
being
right.
in the middle, right?
Right.
Right. I mean, if I have nothing really going on,
true.
it is a stereo verb, and I'm sending
Yeah.
both out. But
Yeah. I would argue that's a different experience.
sure, it's lovely. I
There you go.
I have a real. To me, anything I do on the right or left side,
Yeah.
I as one guitar player is great.
Yeah.
As soon as 2 guitar players are in, I'm not sure what the sound desk is supposed to do with
Yeah.
my stereo mix and his stereo
Right.
mix.
Right.
What are we each going 70-30 towards
Sure.
one side? So then what good is the ping pong? And then if we're going hard split, it's like rhythm or lead, you know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
like
Yeah.
it's a little
Is anybody using ping pong delays these days on stuff? Because I sure. Are you?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, ping pong meaning I've got one subdivision left, one subdivision right. Yeah.
For real?
Yeah,
Wow. I've never done that.
I like it
Okay.
in the ears.
Yeah.
I
I think
Sure.
stereo is
have
totally
no
for the
idea.
player.
I mean, he could take my stereo signal and put it as super narrow. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
To me, it's important that I am comfortable and like how I sound.
It feels better for sure.
Yeah. He could send me to mono for all I know. I mean, but
Yeah.
like once I have it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the church I've been playing at now, actually, the one in Spring Hill, is opposite.
Hmm.
They want stereo in the house,
Mm-hmm.
but they send us mono, like one guitar track.
Weird.
You know, so I can't even hear my stereo. But there's like, I wish it was opposite. I wish
Yeah.
I could hear stereo, he could run mono, and we'd
Yeah.
both be happy. But
Okay.
This is my
Yeah.
here. I'll take because this is like what I'm sending right now, right here. So I've got a dotted eighth, not panned.
is this HW nose tone?
Yeah, and it goes into an eighth.
Yeah, that's my delay too.
Dotted eighth into an eighth.
Yep. Synchronized,
If,
baby.
if you know, you know.
That's right, brother.
That's how
If
you
you
do
know,
it.
you know.
Heck yeah, dude. And is this your AC30 patch with the King of Tone?
This one's not, but it's the
Profile up
same
front?
effects.
Okay.
It's a different. I've done other stuff, but yeah.
Okay.
This is
Is that out? I'm sure someone is asking. Can I get that? Is that like?
this is not out, but that's because it's not my preferred. It's not what I play on Sunday.
Okay.
It's a variation I was trying with the AC50.
But somebody could download the other one.
Someone could download the other one,
It is
yeah.
available. Okay.
What do you play on Sunday? Is that
It's an old AC30 with a King of Tone running into it, profiled.
Yeah, dog.
And then there's a bunch of changes to these, like just. I think I turned up the middle, the treble, and the presence.
Nice.
That's it.
That's the Michael Britt.
That's the Michael
trend.
Britt thing.
Yeah,
It's like
turn it
it's
all
like
up.
everything sounds better if you put three dots on it on the Kemper.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
everything instantly sounds
You're
good.
like, man, that's so good.
At what point does it not? And why not just crank them all to
I know it's
This one goes to
true.
11. So.
And I have two versions that I play live because one it has just each rig is bumped up with a little more gain.
Okay.
And that helps compensate for the if I want to play Goldie or any other guitar with a little lower output. I have that one, and I think I call it like Plus.
Okay.
And yeah, I started doing that when I was playing the Lambert, the Ristrettos. I felt like they needed more mid-range.
Okay.
So I was adding a little more gain, a little more mid-range, and then bringing the Strat out. I was like, oh, this is cool to have a little more on it. And then I've got it like where I like it.
Yeah.
And then I tend to gravitate towards all the guitars that do everything. The P90 sound great through it. The SSV sound great. The Lambertron sound great. The Les Paul sounds great. And then it kind of becomes like, I guess I'm not going to love a guitar unless it sounds great with this. So in that way, it, like everything has to kind of be somewhere in a sphere together.
Okay.
You know, which is probably why I haven't loved Trons classically. I haven't loved Gretches because I feel like I have to adjust a bunch of stuff and then it throws me off.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm like, is this as good as if I just got the other guitar and did this thing? Yeah. So, you know, earlier I was making a big fuss about you should try new things, and here I am saying I
haven't
don't
tried a
change
new
at
thing in
all.
what,
Play one
6
sound
years?
for 8 years.
But I change the effects all the time. Like this weekend, we did does this happen to you? I can't remember a lyric to this song, but I can play it on the guitar.
Definitely. Yeah.
sure.
And I'm going to not play it in the original key because we did it in this key. But
Okay.
it's the
It's a beautiful song.
So will I.
God of creation. Like, what's the key?
It doesn't matter. You've
There
already.
at the start before the...
Keep going.
Sorry, I love the chorus.
Wow.
Okay, I was gonna catch it.
Beautiful, guys.
100 billion galaxies are born.
Hey, guys, I want to take back my thing about being in Battle of the Bands.
The planet formed.
Wow.
If the stars were made
That's better.
to
Okay.
worship, so will I. So will I. So bad. God of salvation.
That's it, man.
Wow.
Listen to that.
Oh, yeah.
It's so loud, by the way. It's just like. Everyone's like, I can hear it.
Screw what you're hearing at home. We're playing loud.
No, it sounds
It's
good.
like it's like breaking it. It's
Just
totally clipping this whole thing.
Yeah.
I have that on 0.
Wow. I
I
can't
guess
wait to
I can
hear
turn
that.
this down.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear that.
This is a great. I'll tell you, this is my my biggest like, and I play with this all the time. Like I play with this all the time. It's a great.
That's beautiful.
Solid.
He's like,
Wait, how do you play the guitar? Do you ever just look at the guitar and forget completely?
all
Like
the
it's
time.
totally foreign.
What's great about that is you can go to the neck and you darken up the neck. And it's so that much verb and this so removes the attack. It almost to me has become the de facto, I don't need my volume pedal. And I noticed the more I use this sound that I'm about to play is like, I don't even use a swell anymore. Because I just go, I'm like lazy, I guess. I have a swell, but I realize I'm just using it as a mute switch. Like I have a thing, you know? Yeah. But it's like there's no attack left if you go warm or you turn down the treble and you have that much verb, you know? So you can just like do whatever, like, you know. Like someone can totally talk into a microphone over that at the level they put you at.
Try it, Addison.
Hang on, I'm going to go middle.
Yeah, he's going to underscore you right now.
Welcome to church. We don't usually start out with slow songs, but this morning we're going to. We just want to keep a contemplative mood this morning. We're just we hope that you engage with the music and really encounter Jesus this morning. Everyone stand to your feet if you haven't already. Sorry, I forgot to say that. We're going to start the song anytime now, whenever the drummer counts us off.
1, 2, 3. Get there. There it is. Wow.
Did that guitar just get cleaner?
Yeah.
It's a rock song, so.
Oh, there you were throwing me off.
Yeah.
But you know what pigs are really good for that? The pink, the Lambertrons.
Ooh.
Because even when you turn it down, they're still so clear.
That's cool.
It's why it's the only pickups that do that.
Okay.
It's the only pickups that do that. And
hey, Curtis.
Yeah, hey, Curtis. I think I never used this too. I don't know how we got on this subject, but I think
that's what the people are here for. We're talking about guitar.
it's you know.
There's
Murky.
Come on.
What'd you
There's
say?
like a
Murky.
Murky?
Yeah.
Man.
And you can just a little acoustic can like do whatever they want over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
It kind of
can, like,
reminds me of like an acoustic piano going to like a Rhodes or something.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, kind of like deadens the
man.
sound. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
and that was the bridge with no tone.
See, I love
That's the
doing
bridge
that on
with
a
no
telly.
tone.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah, and look how different.
perfect.
Look how different. I'll do it on the bridge.
Yes.
Watch, it's like. What key was I in before? I was right here.
Yeah, those are cool too.
A little octave?
Ooh.
Okay. He has every effect slot on right now. All 8. That's how you get that sound.
Dang.
Well, jazz.
We went jazz.
That was
We
a
went
John
jazz.
2 moment, actually. We
There
do
you
that
go.
all the time.
Great.
There we go.
Good
Anyway, well,
standing.
how did we get on this subject?
Gosh.
It's you said you never change it. Sometimes I do change it because
Occasionally.
I made a whole new sound where I was like, you know what? I need something in between my main verbed out, washed out, and my super ambient. It was like I needed more ambient than my washed out, but less ambient than my can't even hear the notes.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I just
That's a cool
went
sound.
right in between, you know?
That's a cool
dope.
sound.
That was a good, hey, thank you for accompanying me on those vocals. That was really, we didn't plan that.
No, we
Nice.
didn't. We just
That's the Nashville way. We just call it. Just call it as we play it.
Going.
Let's call it, guys. Call it like you play it.
Right.
there's a video of
Okay.
Taylor Johnson playing with Phil Wickham at Saddleback Church in like 2007.
Yes.
And he's like a Les Paul player.
Yes.
So there's what song are they playing? Blessed Be the Name. He's got dotted eighth delay on. I don't think he has reverb on. Doesn't really matter. But he's on the neck pickup with the tone rolled all the way back, and he does this like amazing, like pulsating, almost synth thing going on with a dotted eighth delay, and you can imagine. I'll have to send it to you guys, but it's like a brilliant sound. I'm like, why don't we do more of that stuff? It's kind of that vibe, less ambient and more rhythmic, but it's
not that vibe.
Yeah.
Exactly. Why
Yeah.
don't we do that vibe, but other vibes?
But other
I love the call out from 2007 too. Like that.
Blessed be your name,
Yeah.
too.
That's like that stuck with you.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a cool sound. He's
Right.
a brilliant man. Okay. Anyway.
That's a cool song too. Yeah,
It is
that
a
was
cool
an old
song.
song. That was a good
Heart
that was a
of
good
Worship?
thing. Yeah.
there was
there
good
you go.
stuff. Yeah.
That was good stuff. Well, I don't know where to go from here. I think that's where you got to call it, you know.
Right.
I guess so. Go play those vibes.
You know, what did
and
we
other vibes.
learn? You know, you can throw in the wrong note, and if you do it enough times,
Yeah.
sounds like the right
It's
note.
right now.
Yeah. It's right. And then
Use your tone knob. I
and
learned to
all
use
and
your
all the
tone
best tones use all the effects available at all times.
All 8. If you wanted to
All
add
8.
a chorus right now, you couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. You'd have to take off this little EQ.
Yeah.
You'd have to do something here. Someone came up to me. I had this sound. It was the acoustic guitar player. He's a great guitar player, but for some whatever reason they put him on acoustic this week. And pro guy, and he goes, "How do you get like your real big reverb? What are you doing? Is that like is that what kind of verb is that?" And I was like, "It's a hall, but it's so much more than that. Like I can't even. Like I've got well, there's a delay here, there's a delay here, and you know what I mean? A dotted eighth, another dotted eighth. I have no idea what's going on. An eighth, anyway. Well, that's been episode 53. Anybody have anything they want to add?
4.
4?
That's what Susan said.
I'm just trying to keep it accurate over here.
I keep trying to keep it accurate. Addison, thank you for coming.
Addison!
Thank you for coming
Yay!
down.
Oh,
Thank you
man,
for
so
coming
much
down.
fun.
You
Thank
are
you.
close.
Our neighbor now.
Yeah, you're our neighbor now.
Ish.
Yeah.
You and I are on the
I'm only-
opposite ends of
true.
Franklin.
How far away are you from?
I'm like
from
30
here?
minutes south.
So I'm
You're
30 minutes
And
north.
you're like
Yeah.
30 minutes north.
Yep.
Well, look at that.
Bringing us together.
I know. HW.
Right in the
Yeah.
middle.
Thank you, HW.
And
And
anyway,
hot chicken. First time with hot chicken today.
yes.
you never had hot chicken
Yeah.
before this?
Never had hot chicken.
That was it. First
I
time.
didn't even
Well,
realize.
Hattie.
That was it.
I was there for
Grilled.
history.
grilled.
Grilled Hattie B's.
I had grilled today too.
Yeah. You liked it? Was it good?
It was excellent.
Okay.
I thought it was excellent.
Nice.
I agree with Suze. It's probably not as good as the
If
other.
you eat
but
them
I
side by
was,
side.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
then no.
Yeah.
But it was a fine change of pace.
Yeah. Sure.
You know,
It's welcome.
It's good.
I would try the breaded.
Yeah.
It's very good.
I can't eat gluten. At least
Oh,
not
I
in that
forgot about
context.
that.
But
I
Yeah.
would not try the bread.
Well, I wouldn't
no.
too.
it's
Yeah.
tempting. It's tempting occasionally, but you know,
Mm.
it also wasn't hot enough today. It was one of those moments where it's like I got
Oh.
medium, and it was a little mild, and so I could have.
I
So
will
my
say that-
medium,
yeah.
my medium being the naked tender, you
Yeah.
know, like that,
Yeah.
was not nearly as hot as I feel like medium is when it has the.
That's right.
And I think that's because it's like sticking to
There's
the
not much for it
breading
to
or
hold on
whatever.
to.
Yeah.
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 less, a
My
lot.
chicken was like juicy and, you know, I was like, this is excellent chicken.
It's a great place, dude.
It's so good.
Yeah, my meal was amazing.
That's awesome.
Hattie B's.
Hattie B's. All right. Well, I have been HW.
I've been the Sooze.
I've been Addison.
There it is.
There we go. Lovely.